So I'm watching Outnumbered on Fox, and they're talking about this trade war with China. Now, they want the President Trump's plan. You don't publicly announce your plan. It's a stupid question. It's like asking Tom Brady to publish the Patriots playbook before the game. Now, the president has been talking about how he would deal with China since the 1980s. Go back, watch Oprah interviews, watch Trump interviews from the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s. You'll get a pretty good idea of what he's thinking. Part two, the reason the tariffs on China are happening now is because it's making North Korea come to the table. And if we're hard enough on China, North Korea could be forced to give up its nuclear weapons without a shot. And when you put that on the scale, what the president doing is fantastic. It's definitely worth it. Now, once North Korea gives up its nuclear weapons, we can soften up on China. But until North Korea gives up its nuclear weapons, and China is kind of North Korea's big brother, they provide it with oil, food, supplies. North Korea could not survive without China. Therefore, China is beginning to pay a price for North Korea's issues. And if North Korea has to answer to China and China has to answer to us, all of a sudden, those nuclear weapons and those ballistic missiles that can nuke the United States could go away. And if you take the United States getting nuked by North Korea or China sanctions, I go with the Chinese sanctions. If you look at Japan being nuked by North Korea, because the North Koreans have an insane hatred of the Japanese because of the Japanese invasion during World War II. They hate them. They could nuke Japan, they could nuke us. Think of the cost of a nuclear strike on Silicon Valley. Vaporizing Apple, vaporizing Google, vaporizing even Facebook and YouTube. These are bad things for the United States, at which point everyone will think there'll be a military option about 5 seconds after Silicon Valley goes poof. So, let's stop that from happening. Let's put sanctions on China that bring North Korea to give up their nuclear weapons, and we'll work on the intellectual property and the other trade imbalances. But that's what Donald Trump is doing. And when you put the North Korean nukes on the scale, what he's doing is so worth it. And everyone's doing worst case scenario. This is the reason we elected Donald Trump. We have Republicans, Democrats, everybody in the media, they're cowards. What's the point of having the number one military on the planet Earth if you're afraid to even start an argument, nonetheless a fight? This is a trade dispute. China's been kicking our ass in the trade dispute for almost 30 years. It's time for a change. That's what we voted for. It's brought North Korea to the table, and it's going to end up putting more money and more jobs in the United States. I'm Tim with Tim's TV. Put your comments below.